बिहानको 10 बज्यो। यो समय घरमै बसेर सुनेर पढ्न मिल्ने कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुलको हो। नमस्कार हाम्रा प्रिय विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू, तपाईहरू सबैजनालाई कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुलमा हामी हार्दिक स्वागत गर्दछौं। कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुल लकडाउनको बेला विद्यालय बन्द हुँदा शिक्षण सिकाइ क्रियाकलापबाट विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू वञ्चित हुनु नपरोस् भनेर तयार पारिएको सिकाइ सहजीकरण कार्यक्रम हो। यो कार्यक्रम मेचीनगर नगरपालिकाको सहयोग एवं शिक्षक महासंघ प्याप्सन तथा एनप्याप्सन मेचीनगरको समन्वयमा उत्पादन गरिएको हो। भाइ बहिनीहरूलाई थाहै छ, हामी आइतबारदेखि शुक्रबारसम्म कक्षा 5 देखि 10 सम्मका भाइ बहिनीहरूका निमित्त रेडियो कक्षा प्रसारण गर्छौं। आज आइतबार सबै तहहरूमा अंग्रेजी विषयको कक्षा सञ्चालन हुनेछ। 10 बजेदेखि 10:30 बजेसम्म कक्षा 5 र 6 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि कक्षा सञ्चालन हुनेछ भने 10:30 बजेदेखि 11 बजेसम्म कक्षा 7 र 8 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि कक्षा सञ्चालन हुँदा 11 बजेदेखि 11:30 बजेसम्म कक्षा 9 र 10 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि कक्षा सञ्चालन हुनेछ। रेडियो साथी 98.6 मेगाहर्ज रेडियो साथीको फेसबुक टाइमलाइन तथा अनलाइन radiosathi.com लगइन गरेर पनि कार्यक्रम सुन्न सक्नुहुनेछ। अबको पालोमा कक्षा 5 र 6 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि विषय विज्ञ शिक्षकज्यूहरूबाट कक्षा सञ्चालन हुँदैछ। त्यसैले कापी कलम लिएर रेडियो सुन्दै टिपोट गर्दै पढौं है त।
Good morning students. Today again I have been present in Radio Sathi studio to teach you about the transformation of sentences, how to make questions, about how to make question. Student, generally there are two types of questions. You know, one is yes no question, another is double H question. How many types of questions, student? Yes no questions and double H questions. You know, there are two types of questions. They are also called interrogative sentences. You know, interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences make a question. Either that can be yes no question or double H question. My dear students, what is meant by yes no question? तिमीले यहाँ दुई खालको क्वेशन पढ्दै छौ। एउटा yes no question, अर्को double H question. What is meant by yes no question? Yes no question कस्तो हुन्छ त? Student, yes no question means the question that begins with an auxiliary verb. त्यस्तो खालको क्वेशन जसको सुरुवात auxiliary verb बाट हुन्छ, सहायक क्रियाबाट हुन्छ भने त्यस्तो क्वेशनलाई हामी yes no question भन्छौं। It is also called head shaking answer question. Head shaking भनेको टाउको हल्लाउँदै मुन्टो हल्लाउँदै उत्तर आउँछ। उदाहरणको लागि तिमी त स्टुडेन्ट हौ नि, हैन? अब मैले चाहिँ तिमीलाई सोधे आर यु अ स्टुडेन्ट भनेर मैले सोधे, तिमी स्टुडेन्ट हौ नि त। त्यसै गर्दा तिमी के गर्छौ? सकारात्मक टाउको हल्लाउँछौ, मतलब पोजिटिभ हेड शेकिङ हुन्छ तिम्रो। यसको अर्थ हो भन्छौ, तिमी बोलिरहनु पर्दैन। व्हेन यु शेक द हेड पोजिटिभली, आई नो यु आर अ स्टुडेन्ट, द्याट्स व्हाई आर यु अ स्टुडेन्ट भन्यो भने यो चाहिँ वान अफ द एक्जाम्पल्स अफ अ यस नो क्वेशन। किन नानियो? किनभने यहाँ चाहिँ आर एउटा अक्जिलरी भर्ब हो जुन चाहिँ वाक्यको सुरुमै गएको छ। माइ डियर स्टुडेन्ट्स, म अलिअलि नेपालीमा पनि भन्छु किनभने सामुदायिक विद्यालयका नानीहरूले पनि यो सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ, यो पढाएको सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँहरूलाई अलिकति अंग्रेजीबाट मात्रै भन्दा गाह्रो हुन्छ कि भनेर बेला बेला नेपाली पनि बीचमा म प्रयोग गर्ने गर्छु। त्यसो गर्दा नानीहरूलाई बुझ्न सजिलो हुन्छ, हैन? ल, नाउ देयर आर मेनी टाइप्स अफ auxiliary verbs, student. You can say some? Yes, you can say like do, does, did, have, has, had, can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, many, you know. These types of auxiliary verbs, you know, they are taken in front of the sentence to make yes no questions. For example, will you go to school? Will you go to school? भने मैले अगाडि के लगाए नानी हो? will एउटा auxiliary verb हो। अनि पर मैले question mark चाहिँ राख्नु पर्छ है। Let us put a question mark finally, you know. So that becomes yes no question. Will you go to school? हो, यो yes no question भयो। For example, have you ever been to India? Have you ever gone to India? यस्तो खालको हुन्छ नि। यहाँ पनि have आएको छ। ह्याभ पनि एउटा अक्जिलरी भर्ब हो त्यसो गर्दाखेरि यो पनि यस न क्वेशन भयो माय डियर स्टुडेन्ट्स सो you have to put any auxiliary verbs to make the questions according to need, according to necessities. Yes, now I am going to tell you something about it. यदि कुनै पनि वाक्यमा V1 छ भने तिमीले do लाई के गर्ने वाक्यको सुरुमा लाने हैन यदि V5 छ एस लागेर V5 हुन्छ नि छ भने तिमीले के गर्ने डज लाने अगाडि अब V2 छ भने चाहिँ हैन फास्ट हुन्छ नि फास्ट V2 त्यो डिड लाने अगाडि हैन क्यापिटल लेटर लेखेर लाने है नानीले म स्कुलमा पनि देख्थे स्मल लेटर लेख्छ डिड को डी स्मल लेखिराखेको हुन्छ डज को पनि डी स्मल लेखिराखेको हुन्छ डु को पनि डी स्मल लेखिराखेको हुन्छ त्यसो गर्यो भने चाहिँ पंक्चुएसनको हिसाबले हैन that is not correct English punctuationally that's why you have to write in a capital letter in the beginning of the sentence okay and finally you have to put a question mark to make yes no question के छ भने अरे V1 छ भने do अगाडि लगाने do ला अगाडि लाने अनि सब्जेक्ट लेखेर V1 question mark V5 छ भने does अगाडि लाने सब्जेक्ट लेख्ने V1 लेख्ने question mark V2 छ भने did ला अगाडि लाने सब्जेक्ट लेख्ने अनि V1 नै बनाउने र question mark राख्ने yes if there is V1 in a sentence let's take do in front of the sentence and put a question mark finally student if there is V5 in a sentence then you have to take does in front of the sentence and put question mark finally similarly if there is V2 in a sentence then you have to take did in front of the sentence and put a question mark finally. For example, I am giving you some different sentences, 3 sentences, using V1, using V5, and using V2, so you can be clear about it. Now, they listen to the radio. They listen to the radio. Okay? They listen. L-I-S-T-E-N. Listen. Yeah, listen V1. त्यसैले हामीले do अगाडि लगाउँछौं हैन do they listen to the radio question marks हैन do they listen to the radio question mark हैन त्यसैगरी अर्को म तिमीलाई V5 बाट बनाउँछु है त्यो एउटा ल Ram eats rice Ram E-A-T-S eats rice छ नि यहाँ चाहिँ eat मा s लागेर eats भएको छ हैन यसलाई हामी V5 भन्छौं now you take does in front of the sentence does Ram eat rice your question हैन does Ram eat V1 चाहिन त does ले त तिम्रो लगिहाल्यो eat को s त लगिहाल्यो अब रह्यो eat मात्रै हैन does Ram eat rice that is yes no question now next one you played volleyball you P-L-A-Y-E-D played volleyball भन्दाखेरि यहाँ played चाहिँ के छ नानी V2 छ अब तिमी के गर्छौ did अगाडि लान्छौ did they play volleyball did they play volleyball you have to say P-L-A-Y play did they play volleyball यो खालको क्वेशन तिमी राख्छौ त्यसैले I have taken 3 different sentences to make you clear about how to make yes no questions using auxiliary verb in front of the sentence and question mark finally. My dear student, you are reading in class 5, you are reading in class 6, so I don't have to take out some difficult, complicated examples you can't understand. So I am taking easy example that is important for government school also, private schools also, you know, so you can be clear about it. Yes, student. Now, sometimes have is used as main verb. Do also sometimes can be used as main verb. Has also, does also, had also, did also. They can be used as main verbs. At that time, you have to take do for have and do for do also. Similarly, if there is has as a main verb, then you have to take does in front of the sentence as an auxiliary verb. If there is does as a main verb, then you have to take does as an auxiliary verb. If there is had as a main verb, you have to take did. And if there is did as a main verb, you have to take did as an auxiliary verb. That means, यसो मैले के भनेको भने have पनि do पनि कहिलेकाहीँ main verb को रूपमा आउँछ जस्तो आई हेभ अ बुक भन्नु कसैले भने यहाँ तिमीलाई चाहिँ यो हेभदेखि पढेर भिकिप छ त आई हेभ अ बुक त भिकिप होइन त्यसले यो हेभ चाहिँ के भयो त नानी हो भन्दाखेरि अक्जिलरी भर्ब भएन मेन भर्ब भयो अब तिमीले डु को सहायता लिनुपर्छ यसमा हेभ यु भन्न पाइँदैन डु यु हेभ अ बुक भन्नु पर्यो द्याट इज करेक्ट सिमिलरली यु डु युवर होमवर्क भन्दाखेरि वाट इज हियर डु दिस इज डु इज भिवान सो यो डु चाहिँ मेन भर्बको रूपमा प्रयोग भएको छ सो यु क्यान नट टेक दिस अदर थिङ जस्ट डु यु डु यसरी बनाउने डु यु डु युवर होमवर्क डु यु त्यो अक्जिलरी डु भयो फेरि तिमीले त्यो डुलाई फेरि एकचोटि लेख्ने डु यु डु युवर होमवर्क भन्ने धेरै नानीहरूले त्यो डु चाहिँ बिचमा छोडिदिन्छ डु यु युवर होमवर्क भनिदिन्छ द्याट्स रङ सो स्टुडेन्ट आई आस्क यु आई एडभाइज यु अबाउट युजिङ सेकेन्ड टाइम डु अल्सो सिमिलरली ह्याजमा पनि त्यस्तै हुन्छ हि ह्याज अ बुक छ भने डज हि ह्याभ अ बुक भन्ने हि डज हिज होमवर्क छ भने डज हि डु हिज होमवर्क भन्ने होइन हि ह्याड अ स्विम यस्टरडे छ भने डिड हि ह्याभ अ स्विम यस्टरडे भन्ने डिड हि ह्याभ अ स्विम यस्टरडे भन्ने त्यो ह्याडलाई डिड लाने अगाडि अनि ओर ह्याभ बनाउने डिड हि ह्याभ अ स्विम यस्टरडे भन्ने सिमिलरली हि डिड हिज होमवर्क भन्दाखेरि त्यो डिड चाहिँ मेन भर्बको रूपमा प्रयोग भएको छ अब हाम्रो नानीहरूले यसमा क्वेसन बनाउँदा के भन्छन् डिड हि डु हिज होमवर्क My dear student, in this condition, my students will be able to make yes no questions. Class 5-6 सम्म हाम्रो नानीहरूले V1, V5 र V2 को जाने भने भइहाल्छ है जस्तै क्रिवेश my regular students क्रिवेश you stand up. I ask one question to make yes no question. Listen. Yes, they go to the market. तिमी यसमा क्वेसन बनाऊ त क्रिवेश yes you try stand up you write don't write just say yes what do they and what is do they go yes do they go to the market very good क्रिवेश very good you are right किनभने यहाँ चाहिँ here is go is V1 so you have taken do in front of the sentence do they go to the market is excellent answers thank you so much क्रिवेश sit down. Now Sima, my another regular student, Sima, stand up, yes, stand up. Now listen, I am giving you one sentence. Let us send this into yes no question. Yes. Now listen, he gives me a book. He gives GIVS gives me a book. He gives GIVS to bhama यसलाई उता जब बोल्नु he gives me a book हैन let us Sima start. Does he does he give me a book? Does he give me छुटायो? Yes, that is necessary. Very good. Does he give me a book? Very good, Sima. You sit down. Now, Yogesh, stand up. Yogesh, what are you doing? Stand up. Yes, Yogesh, stand up. Yes, now, listen. They played football. Now, change this into yes no question. Yeah. Did they play football? Play, play. Yeah. Did they play football? Excellent answer. No. Now my three students have given the answers correctly for different sentences. For the first time I have given them V1 using V1, the second time V5 and the third time V2 respectively. They have made the questions, yes no questions. Very nice. Now students कोही बेला के हुन्छ भने नि कुनै पनि सेन्टेन्समा सम छ हैन यसो हामी सम छ भने तिमीले क्वेशन बनाउँदा एनी बनाउनु पर्छ है सम छ नि सम आउँछ नि हैन त्यतिखेर तिमीले एनी बनाउनु पर्छ अरु सबै डु डिड डज के छ गर्ने हैन यहाँ चाहिँ जहाँ सम छ त्यसलाई एनी बनाइदिने ल उदाहरणको लागि let us say I am giving one sentence for you can listen to me carefully. He bought some rice. No, he bought some books भनौं न हैन यहाँ काउन्टेबलमा ल्याउँ ल he bought some books. अब त सेसन पनि 2-3 महिना भइसक्यो हैन उले किताब किन्यो अरे हैन he bought some books. अब यसलाई यसमा क्वेशन बनाउनु पर्ने के भन्नुपर्छ did he buy हैन did he buy any books गर्नु पर्यो नानी है समलाई के गर्ने एनी गर्ने क्वेशनमा है त्यसैगरी if there is I छ भने यु बनाउनु होला क्लास 5 र 6 को स्टुडेन्ट क्वेशनमा I छ नि हैन फर एक्जाम्पल I was born in England भन्ने कसैले I was born in England भन्ने हैन अनि where were you born भन्ने के क्वेशन were you born in England भन्ने यस न क्वेशनमा डब्ल्युएच क्वेशनको अहिले कुरा गरौँला है were you born in England भन्ने नि के नानी हो त्यसैले I लाई where मा चेन्ज गर्नुपर्छ सरी I लाई you मा चेन्ज गर्नुपर्छ है त्यसैले I त फर्स्ट पर्सन हो क्वेशनमा चाहिँ सेकेन्ड पर्सन बनाउनु पर्छ भन्न खोजेको मैले समलाई एनी बनाऊ I लाई you बनाऊ all other rules are the same okay let us in a group I ask Yogesh Sima Krivesh and all students hey together all of you say hey I am giving one sentence I am giving one sentence you know you have to change this into yes no question la listen Sita drives a car Sita drives a car हैन मैले एउटा के भने Sita drives a car भने DRIVES है drives a car भने now सबैले एकैचोटि भन्नु त one at a time does I follow you yeah does Sita drive a car very good thank you all of you class now I'm going to ask you another questions I'm giving you another sentence to make it into yes no question they learn the Japanese language now do they learn the Japanese language भनेको हो very good do they learn the Japanese language very good questions you have made this yeah similarly boys boys played cricket did boys play cricket did boys play cricket very nice all of you class you have done very well Yogesh also done well Seema also Vijay also today Yogesh also Krivesh also all of the students you are thanks so much because you gave the answers very nice in a group thank you now I am going to tell you something about some other more auxiliary verbs which are used for making questions yes no questions student for example can will may must should is are was were have has had etc these all auxiliary verbs are to be taken in front of the sentence to make the yes no question and you have to make question mark finally okay so my dear students you can make many sentences and many yes no questions also by yourselves I hope so now I'm going to teach you something about WH questions in this regard there is some difference in between WH question and yes no question there are some differences for example WH question always expect the answers your responsibility is not fulfilled with shaking the head either you have to give the answer by writing or saying something orally or in written form you have to give the answers for example मैले तिमीहरु मध्ये कुनै विद्यार्थीलाई सोध्दै छु है ल what is your name भनेर मैले सोधे नि हैन तिमीले टाउको हल्लाउँदा हुन्छ र what's your name अथवा what is your name भन्दाखेरि तिमीले हेड शेकिङ मात्रै गर्यो भने त मान्छेले तिमीलाई त म्याड पो भन्छ त हैन र त्यसैले what's your name भन्दाखेरि my name is हैन योगेश केवेश भन्नु पर्यो अथवा तिमी बोल्न सक्दैन लेखेर दिनु देखाउनु पर्यो यो चाहिँ WH क्वेशन को चाहिँ एउटा क्यारेक्टरिस्टिक्स हुन्छ है नानीहरु ल WH question is like that question that's answers should be given either by writing or by saying something that is the main characteristics of WH question student for example where do you live भन्यो भने नि where do you live भन्यो भने नि हाम्रो नानीहरुले के गर्छ I live in काँकरभिट्टा या I live in Dhulabari yeah I live in Itavatta somewhere you say where you live you know but where do you live भन्दाखेरि तिमीले हेड चाहिँ नेगेटिभ अथवा पोजिटिभ हलायो भने त त्यो त भएन हैन किनकि त्यो त WH क्वेशन भएन आन्सरै भएन त्यसैले WH क्वेशन always expects the answers by saying or writing that is the main nature or let us say characteristics of WH question student any question that begins with the WH words like WHO who WHAT WHYY, WHN when, WHICH which, WHOM whom, WHOAC whose, SOW how पनि पर्छ है WH मा ल यी चाहिँ क्वेशन्सहरु यिनीहरुबाट चाहिँ सुरु भएका हुन्छन् है WH क्वेशनहरु नानी हो you have noted all the things that so you are clear about them. For example, WHO who, WHAT what, WHY why, WHN when, WHICH which, WHOM whom, WHOAC whose, SOW how. So many such questions. They are begin from the WH. They are begun with the WH words, including how. They are all called WH words. And when they are taken in front and make the question, so that becomes the WH question, student. The rule is the same like yes no question. For example, V1 by do गर्ने, V5 by does गर्ने, V2 by did गर्ने, can को can, will को will, may को may भइहाल्छ हैन, is को is भइहाल्छ, r को r हुन्छ. यसरी चाहिँ we can make the WH questions, you know. Like this, there are so many WH words to make the questions. I have told you about, you know, that is who, what, why, when, which, whom, whose, how, etc. So, my dear student, I am making some questions using these words like who, like, you know, who always omits the subject. There is no need to use any auxiliary verb for making the who question. For example, my brother is a farmer. Who is a farmer? We can make a question, you know. Similarly, यहाँ चाहिँ तिमीले कुनै पनि no need to take any auxiliary verb. Like he sings a song. He sings, S-I-N-G-S, sings a song बनाऊ भने तिमीले who question बनाउँदा who sings a song भन्छौ. यहाँ does such को आवश्यकता पर्दैन है. खाली तिमीले subject हटाइदिने, who लेखिदिने है. Similarly, where, you know, removes or omits the place name. But we need an auxiliary verb. For example, Ram lives in Kakarvita. Ram, L-I-V-E-S, lives in Kakarvita, my dear student. Now, how can we change this into WH question? Where question लाग्छ नि यहाँ त किन place आएको छैन. Where does Ram live? Where does Ram live? भनेर तिमी question गर्न सक्छौ. त्यस्तै गरी what question छ नि. What question always omits the object. What question omits the object. For example, they are eating mangoes. They are eating mangoes. What are they eating? What are they eating? Mango चाहिँ हटाइदेऊ हैन. Similarly, if you want to make any why question, then you have to omit the reason. And for example, Hari ate too much because he was hungry. हैन. Hari ate too much because he was hungry. Now, how can you do why question? Because आएको छ, reason आएको छैन. So you can do like this. Why did Hari eat too much? Why did Hari eat too much? Is your work. So you can make the why question also. Now, if you want to make how question, then you have to omit the manner. For example, he walks slowly. He walks slowly. W-A-L-K-S, walks slowly. The slowly भन्ने शब्दले चाहिँ manner बुझाउँछ. If you want to make WH question means how question, then you have to do like this. How does he walk? How does he? W-A-L-K, walk. तिमीले slowly लाई हटाइदिने किनभने slowly adverb पनि हो, manner को पनि काम गर्छ हैन. If you want to make when question, then you have to omit your dates like miti time हुन्छ नि. For example, he gets up at 5 o'clock. He gets up at 5 o'clock हैन. When does he get up? You can say. So my dear students, you can make different types of questions. Yeah, after ending the lockdown, we will be in the classroom. So we can discuss about them also. So you can phone also to the Radio Sathi. So your curiosity will be correct. Now, my dear student, I am giving you some questions. You have to change them. What I will direct you in the bracket, okay? Now, Mr. Rai works at school. Number 1. Mr. Rai, W-O-R-K-S, works at school. यसलाई तिमी हो क्वेशन बनाऊ ल, हो क्वेशन बनाऊ. Similarly, number 2 मा जाऊ. I was born in Ilam. I was born, B-O-R-N, born in Ilam. Let us make it where question. Bio? Yeah. Next, 3. Question number 3. I bought a pen. I bought, B-O-U-G-S-T, bought a pen. W-H-A-T, what question banao? I bought a pen. What question banao? Number 4. She went to hospital because she was suffering from headache. She went to hospital because she was suffering from headache. She went to hospital because she was suffering from headache. Now, why question? Let us make the why question, okay? Now, 5 number. She walks slowly. How question? She walks slowly. How question? Number 6. Devkota was born in 1964 BS. Devkota was born in 1964 BS. When question banao. My dear students, now I am giving you some questions to change into yes no question. Again, I have given you WH question, now yes no question some. Number 1. Change into yes no question, yeah? Number 1. He loves music. He LOVES loves MUSIC music. Yes no question banao. Number 2. They will enjoy the party. They will enjoy the party. Let us make yes no question. They will ENJOY enjoy the party. Yes no question. Similarly, she visited the zoo. She visited 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 the zoo. Also yes no question. Similarly, the next question, yeah, Hari reads a storybook. Hari READS reads a storybook. Next number, yeah, students were playing cricket. Students were playing cricket. Students were playing cricket. The last one, she can lift LIFT. Lift 100 kg load. She can lift 100 kg load. Thank you. I have given you 6 questions for WH question and 6 questions for yes no question. You will do them at home. Practice them. If you have some problem, you can contact us because we have given you a phone number in Radio Sathi. You can comment, you can contact, so we can fulfill your desires that are difficult over you. Thank you. We meet you in next class. Thank you so much for today.
भाइ बहिनीहरूलाई फेरि स्वागत छ कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुलमा। तपाईहरूले भर्खरै कक्षा 5 र 6 का लागि तयार पारिएको कक्षा सुनिसक्नु भएको छ। कक्षा सुनिसकेपछि तपाईका केही प्रश्न वा जिज्ञासा भएमा रेडियो साथीको फोन नम्बर 023 563 037 मा फोन गरेर प्रश्न टिपाउन सक्नुहुनेछ वा हाम्रो फेसबुक पेजमा समेत प्रश्नहरू पठाउन सक्नुहुनेछ। अर्को कक्षामा भाइ बहिनीहरूको जिज्ञासाको समाधान गर्ने प्रयास गरिनेछ। अबको पालोमा कक्षा 7 र 8 का भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि तयार पारिएको कक्षाहरू सञ्चालन गर्दै कक्षा 7 र 8 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू कापी कलम लिएर तयार रहनुहोस् है त।
Hello and namaste everyone. Welcome to the second installment of our grammar lesson on tense. This is me, Diliram Bhandari from Arunodaya Awasya Secondary School, Mechinagar. Today again, I am going to review English tense with you. But we review each one of them and their structures and uses in details. As you can remember, in the previous classes, we had reviewed or learned the structure and use of present simple and present continuous. Passive speech and transformation of affirmative sentence into negative are already been discussed and practiced in earlier classes. In today's class, we learn 3 different things, especially present perfect continuous, and formulation and uses of each one of them in details. The students, I told you in our last class we learned about present simple and present continuous, and today we learn present perfect and present perfect continuous. If you are ready with a copy and a pen, we are going to start the class for today. Let's start the class. In this lesson, we are going to summarize and review the uses of tenses together. Yes, what is tense? We had already defined this in our previous class. So, let's memorize this. Tense is a form of verb that indicates the time or state of an action and event. We mainly can divide the time into 3 terms. 3 states. Tense or time is categorized in present, past, and future. Further, we can divide or categorize this tense or time on the basis of a state of action. Each tense out of the 3 main tenses are classified into 4 categories that I told you already. That is, if the present tense is there, then we categorize that into 4 parts: present simple, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. So we categorize each time, each tense into 4. So dear students, Today we will be starting present perfect and present perfect continuous and uses of these sentences. Now I take you through the examples and explain uses of these sentences. By the end of the session, you will know exactly when to say I have done and when to say I have been doing. The students, you might know when we use I have done and when we use I have been doing. Here we learn present simple and present continuous. Pardon please. Here we start present perfect and present perfect continuous. Right. Then let's get started and look at the differences between present perfect and present perfect continuous. Let's begin with formulation. How do we formulate one of these tenses? Okay, the students from grade 7 and 8, you can have idea about the tenses, and further you can note down each of these examples so that you will become clear how to write or when to use these two tenses. Sometimes we do mistake. So dear students, present perfect example, 3 examples I can make you clear. I have played football. And the example, you have played football. Okay, let's another example. She or he has played football. The students, what did you notice? I use have played and has played according to the subject. If the subject is singular, I use has. If the subject is plural, I have used have played. So remember, has and have are used according to the subject. If the subject is singular, we use has, and if the subject is plural, we use have. So present perfect, which is used to show that an action has taken place once or many times before now. I mean, the present perfect tense refers to an action or state that either occurred at an indefinite time in the past. More instances, we have talked before, or began in the past and continued to the present time. Example, he has grown impatient over the last hour. This tense is formed by have has plus the past participle. Have has plus past participle. The first thing is grammatical structure. The students, could you please note down subject plus have has plus main verb in the past participle form plus object. Here have has are auxiliary helping verbs, but the main verb is used in the past participle form. So we should know regular and irregular verbs. The students, there are verbs which are in past participle and other forms. So we use past participle form in the present perfect tense. Have, has plus verb 3, past participle. So one example of this regular and irregular verbs I can give you, that is watch, W-A-T-C-H, watch, watched, past tense, and past participle is watched, W-A-T-C-H-E-D, watched. So it is irregular verb. Was, watched, watched. So now sometimes there are 3 different forms: go, went, gone. So past participle is gone. Fly, flew, flown. Past participle is flown. Do, did, done. Here past participle is done. Speak, spoke, spoken. So here is past participle is spoken. Arrive, arrived, arrived. Here past participle is arrived. So I'm sure you can think of many more examples, but these verbs have no pattern. Just simply memorize them. There are no any rules, there are nothing we can make or learn to these regular and irregular verbs. Simply you should know them while using. Okay, more instances, more example. We have played football. I have asked my parents some money. You have played and they have played. So simple enough. Yes, and the students, little knowledge about the contraction is required. Though it is not much compulsory, but if you know how to contract that, then it would be fine. For example, if you write you have, then you can say you have. U apostrophe VE. If you are writing she has, CSH apostrophe S. She has. So this contraction means we can make short form like we have. We can say we apostrophe VE. We have. So these are not important here, that I'm just focusing on the tense. So please students, kindly note down only the important things that I have been repeating here, and I would like to say you write in your exercise book the examples that I am telling here, and you can review when the class gets over. When should we use present perfect? When there is connection between present and the past. It works like breeze. When we have started something in the past and continues in the present. She has read many books. I mean, she probably reads more books again. Isn't it? I mean, the action has been done, but it is not that she stops reading. She could continue, or she probably reads more books in future. When we talk about unfinished time, let me tell you one thing. It does not mean it is past tense. Sometimes you may feel that it is past tense, but it is not. How can we recognize, how we understand, or how we differentiate past tense and present perfect? Let me tell you more example, or I'll give you some instances so that you will be clear on that. Dear friends, this week, if I use this week, if I use this month, if I use this year, we say I have visited my maternal uncle house this week. Can you please note down? When we talk about unfinished time, the time is yet to finish. So example, this week, this month, this year. Right example, I have visited my maternal uncle house this week. It means very recent time. He has borrowed my car this week. I'm talking about this week, this month, this year. This is a recent one. So this connects. So this is, if we say last year, then we might have used past perfect. So now you might be clear what is present perfect and what is past. So this is the connection, or the work or the action has recently been done, but the effect might be still there. The students, now a little revision on present perfect. Subject, we use I have done this work. Yes, this is the present perfect. I have done this work. Okay, let's look at present perfect continuous. It is also called present perfect progressive tense. Why progressive? Because it is continuous process. Progressive. Sometimes you get confused. when you use present perfect and present perfect continuous. Okay, let's see some examples. I have been playing football. You have been playing football. She or he has been playing football. The students, we have been playing, you have been playing. These are the progressive form, progressive tense. And these are used in present form. So we say this is present perfect progressive tense or present perfect continuous tense. Finally, they have been playing football. Now, here we use have and has according to the subject. If the subject is singular, we use has. If the subject is plural, we use have. Now we learn how and when we use present perfect comfortably. So, are you ready? Present perfect continuous tense also connect past and present time. But how does it connect? Does it connect like present perfect? We have little difference over here. We started in the past and still going in the present time is the present perfect continuous. The action is still there. But in present perfect, it connects with the present time, but the action is already stopped. Here, in continuous tense, the action continues. But in perfect tense, the action does not continue. Okay, for example, I have cooked dinner. What tense it could be? This is present perfect because we have used I have cooked. Have plus past participle, cooked. I have been cooking dinner. I have been cooking dinner. See, to example, I have cooked dinner and I have been cooking dinner. So, I have cooked dinner recently. I have been cooking dinner. The action is continuing. What difference is between in these sentences in meaning? Second sentence says the work is not finished and is still in progress. The activities is still ongoing. So the second is present perfect tense. The second is present perfect continuous tense. For example, I can tell you the structure: subject plus have, has plus been. Or we can say subject plus have been plus has been plus verb ing plus object. Write down the structure please. Subject plus have been or has been plus verb ing continuous plus object. One example to make you more clear: I have been learning. We have been learning. Here we change little. He, she, it has been learning. According to the subject we used has. He is singular, she is singular, it is singular. So we use has. Students, we have been working on this project for 6 months. It means here we are working for 6 months and it still continues, isn't it? Sea levels have been rising. Sea levels have been rising. I have been calling you for hours. Still the action continues. I have been calling you for hours. We have been waiting for you. We have been waiting for you. It has been raining all day. It has been raining all day. Dear students, if you are writing down these examples, definitely it will help you to understand present perfect and present perfect continuous. I'll give you more examples and I'll make you clear when to use these and what kind of mistakes we could do while writing present perfect and present perfect continuous. Just take a quick look how this tense is formed. So you have subject I, we, they, you, it. These are the subjects. Who does action? I, we, they, you, it. Write down this is subject. And you have two helping verbs here. Have been plus has been. In present perfect continuous, have been and has been. And here you have verb and ing. That means verb ing. One example, please write down. I have been learning English. That means you have started in the past and is still continuing, isn't it? I have been learning English. Second instance, to make you clear on present perfect continuous, it is continuing and continuing and continuing until just now, isn't it? I have been learning English, the continuous process, and it is continuing until just now you are still learning English. Let's say that you are trying to reach your friends, right? The students, one second instance for you. Let's say that you are trying to reach your friend, right? You have been calling them and calling them and calling them and calling, but you could not reach. They have not answered. And finally, your friend call you back. And you say, hey, where have you been? I have been calling you for hours. That means you are calling in all the time in the past, including almost just now, until your friends call you back. And you wanted to meet the friend. So, you say, we have been waiting for you. Isn't it continuous action? Yes, you were calling and you still keep calling your friend. So, I am going to tell you little about the mistakes that we could make in writing, speaking while using these two tenses. So, we have little time now. So, let's have a quick look on these examples. So, we might do mistakes on these. In English, there are two types of verbs. Okay, one is dynamic verbs, that is action verb, and another one is stative verb. You might not be aware of these things, but just note down to remember that in future. When you are using this dynamic verb and stative verb, we have little difference over it while writing present perfect and present perfect continuous tense. Most verbs are dynamic. Example, eat, run, work. Okay, they are dynamic verb. And some other words are there. They are verb. They are verb, but they are stative verb. Means they are good to use in the present form. For example, I will give you some examples. Love, like, think, know. These are the stative words, verbs. How they become stative verbs and how we use them, let me tell you some examples. Now, let's look at these examples. Let me tell you a little about the stative verb. This describe some kinds of state or condition. From example, we could be clear. Let's look at these examples to be clear. I have been knowing Sam for 2 years. I have been knowing Sam for 2 years. Do you think this sentence is correct? I have known Sam for 2 years. Yes, the second sentence is correct because the know is a stative verb. And it does not look good to use knowing. So, I have known Sam for 2 years is correct. So, second one, please write down this example. He has been liking this book all his life. He has been liking this book all his life. He has liked this book all his life. This is the second one is the correct. So, now last, the students have not been understanding this lesson. The students have not been understanding this lesson. Here, the students have not understood the lesson. This is the correct one. It's not the students have not been understanding this lesson. Okay. At last, just for reminder, I have cooked dinner, present perfect. I have been cooking dinner, present perfect continuous. In the first sentence, please make clear that I cooked in the past and now it is ready. So do not need to cook anymore. I am done. Second sentence is I started in the past and I am still cooking now. I am not done yet. Still focused on activities. Okay, dear students. Now this much for today. My advice to you is just keep reading books or your lessons or the story books so that you will easily understand the use of these tenses. If you have any queries, curiosity to ask anything based on our today's class, you can simply call FM line number mentioned in the beginning of this program of Radio Sathi, and you also can comment in Radio Sathi 98.6 megahertz Facebook page. Well, that is so for now. Thank you for listening the class. Hope you enjoyed this class and learned much about present perfect and present perfect continuous. See you in the next class with a similar topic. Till then, bye. See you.
भाइ बहिनीहरू, तपाईहरु अहिले कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुल सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ। कक्षा सुनिसकेपछि तपाईका केही प्रश्न वा जिज्ञासा भएमा रेडियो साथीको फोन नम्बर 023 563 037 मा फोन गरेर प्रश्न टिपाउन सक्नुहुनेछ वा हाम्रो फेसबुक पेजमा समेत प्रश्नहरू पठाउन सक्नुहुनेछ। अर्को कक्षामा भाइ बहिनीहरूको जिज्ञासाको समाधान गर्ने प्रयास गरिनेछ। अब आजको अन्तिम कक्षामा कक्षा 9 र 10 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि कक्षा सञ्चालन हुँदैछ। कक्षा 9 र 10 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू कापी कलम लिएर तयार रहनुहोस्।
Good morning, children. I welcome you once again to the new session for English for class 9, 10, and moreover, class 8 and 7 could also attend this class. I'm your facilitator, Subarna Bhattrai from MET Public School. Once again, back with the new session. Before we start the new session, where we'll be discussing about question tag today, I want to have a review of the assignment that I had given you last week. Let's have a look once again with the questions and their relevant answers. The assignment was to make WH questions to the statements given below. He invites me was the first question, and you were supposed to make the WH question with using who. The answer goes, who invites you? Next question, question number 2 was C invites him. The statement C invites him, you were supposed to make WH question using what? The question answer here, or the WH question using what, goes like this: what does C do? Question mark at the end. Question number 3, they come in the evening was the statement, and you were supposed to change to WH question using when. The WH question using when goes like this: when do they come? For the statement, they come in the evening. Next, question number 4 was, this is my pain. You were supposed to make a WH question using whose. The WH question for this statement is, whose pain is this? Question mark. Next statement was, I call you. You were supposed to make WH question using whom. The WH question goes like this: whom do you call? Here in the sentence or the statement, it started from I, so first person pronoun, that changes into you. Here you should mark that. Question number 6 was, she goes to school, and you were supposed to make WH question using where. Its WH question is, where does she go? Where does she go? Next, question number 7. Question number 7 was, or the statement was, they go to market to buy some books. You were supposed to make WH question using why. Its answer, or the WH question for this statement is, why do they go to market? Question mark. Now statement number 8, my book is the black one. You were supposed to make WH question using which. The WH question goes like this: which one is your book? Now statement number 9 as homework was they play well. You were supposed to make WH question using how. So the WH question for this statement goes like this: how do they play? Here we have done or had review on the assignments of the previous week. Today I'm going to talk on question tag. Let me inform you, we have been using question tag in general conversations, whether in Nepali or in English, but yet there might be some confusion. So let's have some orientation on question tag. Actually, question tag is a self-affirming question. So you need to be very clear. It is a precise question tagged at the end of this statement or the expression made by the speaker with auxiliary verb and pronoun, and it ends with question mark at the end. Here we should understand that the speaker knows the reality. When one makes this question tag, he or she knows the reality, and he or she wants the listener to support his or her idea or understanding. So the speaker uses affirmative statement or expression with negative question tags, and if the speaker views negative in his expression or statement, he uses affirmative question tag. Dear children, we come to know that question tag is very useful in our daily conversation. Let's have a discourse on how to deal with the question tags in simple present structures. We have been dealing simple present structures. Now we are dealing how to deal with the simple present structures with question tags. Dear children, we know that the identification of auxiliary verb is essential for making question tag. The selection of the pronoun goes on to the subject of that statement or the expression. Dear children, we all know that simple present structures consist verb 1 or verb 5. Verb 1 consists do within it. Let me give you one example. They call me. Call is here verb 1. It consists do within it. The question tag to this statement, they call me, is don't they. Here we have affirmative expression or statement, so the question tag goes with negative to get the response in favor of the understanding of the speaker. But if the statement or the expression is negative, the question tag turns to be affirmative. Like in this example, let's have a review. Former example was they call me, but now I'm dealing with negative statement or expression. They do not call me. When we see here, the negativizer is placed after do. They do not call me. So the question tag turns to be do they with question mark at the end. Dear children, let's have a talk on the simple present structure with verb 5. Just before we talked about verb 1 structures, now we are going to deal with verb 5 structures. We know verb 5 consists does within it. Like in this example, he calls her. Here calls is verb 5 form and it consists does within itself. Here the subject or the pronoun he is he and calls is verb 5 form. It consists does. The sentence is in affirmative form, so the question tag turns to be negative as he calls her. Question tag is doesn't he. Here calls is affirmative, so doesn't he. Let's have discourse on some more expressions. Sometimes we get the simple present sentences with have as verb 1 and sometimes with has as verb 5. It should be marked if the sentence consists have or has alone, or if the verb have or has in that sentence is not followed by verb 3 as main verb. It is taken, have or has is taken as main verb. If we account, then have is verb 1 form here, whereas has is verb 5, and you already know have as verb 1 consists do and has consists does. Let's have a look on one example. With have, I have a pen. Here, could you tell me what actually is this have? Is this auxiliary verb or the main verb? Yes, it's main verb because it is not followed by verb 3. If it is main verb, then let's think about its form. Which one? It is the first form, present form. That is verb 1. So it consists do within it. So its question tag is don't I. For the statement I have a pen, don't I is followed by question mark at the end. Let's have a look on another simple present structure with has. He has a book. Has is alone here, not followed by verb 3 as main verb, so it itself is taken as main verb. It is verb 5 form. When we talk about verb 5, all verb 5 forms consist does. Has is main verb here, that is verb 5 form. Here, as it is not followed by verb 3 as main verb, it consists does within itself, and the statement or the expression is affirmative. He has a book is affirmative, so the question tag turns to be negative. Let's have a look. He has a book. Its question tag is doesn't he with the question mark. Let's have a discourse on some more instances. Sometimes we get the question or some expressions like the boys are there. We find here are as auxiliary verb, but the boys means plural. We need a pronoun form of boys, so we go with they. Here the question tag for this statement, the boys are there, is aren't they. Next example, I'm well. We know am here is auxiliary verb and it is the question tag for this statement is aren't I. We don't use amn't, we use aren't. Next example, Hari is a student. Its question tag is isn't he. Hari here is the noun and it could be replaced by the pronoun he. For one boy, he. So isn't he is the question tag for this expression. let's have a talk on some more variations. Sometimes you get the subject like someone calls me. When we think someone, everyone, everybody, right, we are not clear about who he or she is. That's why we call them someone. If we have to tell without identifying as a group, we say everyone, everybody. So here let's have a look on these sentences with these variations. Someone calls me changes into question tag as don't they, with question mark at the end. Next, everyone is present. Here we go with aren't they. Everyone cumulatively amounts many. So, aren't they. Everybody likes me. Don't they. Here someone, somebody, everyone, everybody represents a unit in many. So we use singular form of verb here in our sentence or statement. We have calls, is, likes, etc. a verb 5 form, or the auxiliary verb like is, etc. or in past was. But in the question tag we find they because of one in many, undefined here. That is one among many. So we could not identify that one, so we cumulatively take many. That's why we use pronoun they in such cases. As in someone calls me, someone is used because the speaker could not identify who calls, as there are many people standing. So they is used as pronoun in the question tag. I hope you understood it. Dear children, let's have a talk on some more negative subjects. Here I have set some examples. No one calls me changes into question tag as do they. Here no one makes us know that there were many, but none among them as the unit. So nobody calls me changes into do they. None among them is here changes into question tag as are they, with question mark at the end. No one, none, nobody are negative subjects, so the question tag turns to be affirmative. Let's have a look on some more variations in subjects as something is wrong. Here something is wrong. It changes into question tag. Its question tag is isn't it, with question mark at the end. But when we go with nothing is wrong, nothing is negative, so its question tag changes as is it. Here something, nothing indicates a unit, so pronoun it is used. Dear children, let's have a talk on imperative sentences, that is instructed in present. Here I have some instances. Go out. The listener is instructed here to go out as he or she is still there. When we think about instruction, we ask them to do something which is not done as imperative. That makes the listener function here. The instruction is in present, so the action will happen in future. So the question tag for this goes go out. changes into will you. The speaker uses will you because the action happens in future. Here let's have a look to another example. Another imperative, let me do it. It changes into question tag as will you with question mark. But see here, another case, let's do it. Here the speaker involves himself with listener. That's why the subject is we. So its question tag changes into shall we with question mark at the end. I hope you really enjoyed this beautiful play of language in question tag. Now I want to have a recall of today's session in things to remember. In today's class, we talked about affirmative statement or expression changes into question tag as negative, and negative statement or expression with affirmative question tag. Auxiliary verbs should be identified. Verb 1 consists do, whereas verb 5 consists does. Point number 3, have as main verb consists do, whereas has as main verb consists does in it. And the question tag is changed accordingly using do or does. Point number 4, someone, somebody, everyone, everybody as subject holds they as pronoun in the question tag with plural auxiliary verb as do or don't if it is negative. Point number 5, no one, nobody are negative subjects followed by they with affirmative question tag because the subject itself is negative. So while making question tag we make affirmative with they. Point number 6 that we have discussed in today's session is something or nothing as subject is represented by it as pronoun in the question tag. Something with affirmative structure follows negative question tag, whereas nothing as a subject is negative and followed by affirmative question tag. Point number 7, imperative structures are followed by will you in general as question tag because imperative is the instruction given by the speaker to the listener. So the doer is you in general. Now point number 8, the last one. Let's consist both the speaker and listener, so the question tag turns to be shall we. Here both the speaker I and you, when combines it forms we, will call we. That's all for today. I'm hopeful you had a good play with this language part. Mostly question tag is the part of the language conversation. I'm hopeful I tried to make you understand. I have here some assignments for you. I'm hopeful you are with pen and your copies nearby. I'll repeat this question 3 times for you so that you could copy it well. Change or supply the question tag to the following statements. Supply the question tags to the following statements. Question number 1, I'm well. I am well, comma, dash, question mark. you should supply with question tag here. Question number 2, or the statement number 2, something is missing. Something is missing, comma dash question mark. Something is missing, comma dash question mark. I'm hopeful you are copying the question. Question number 3, nothing is missing. Nothing is missing, comma dash question mark. Nothing is missing, comma dash question mark. Question number 4, or statement number 4, he invites me, comma dash question mark. He invites me, comma dash question mark. He invites me, comma dash question mark. Now statement number 5, they invite us. They invite us, comma dash question mark. They invite us, comma dash question mark. Number 6, open the window. Open the window, comma dash question mark. Open the window, comma dash question mark. Number 7, let me do it, comma dash question mark. Let me do it, comma dash question mark. Let me do it, comma dash question mark. Now statement number 8, let's do it, comma dash question mark. Let's do it, comma dash question mark. Let's do it. Now statement number 9, he has a pet. He has a pet, P-E-T, pet, comma dash question mark. He has a pet, comma dash question mark. Now statement number 10, the final question for you. The statement goes like this: they have a car. They have a car, comma dash question mark. They have a car, comma dash question mark. Once again, they have a car, comma dash question mark. With this, I have given you some assignments. I'm hopeful you are enjoying doing these questions at home. You can deal, or you can ask the queries, or you can attend it on our Facebook pages, or ask the question wherever you find uncomfortable to attend it. Stay safe, stay home, and pursue your studies at this time of crisis. Thank you very much. See you in the next session, new session, once again next week. Thank you very much.
भाइ बहिनीहरू, आजका लागि सबै कक्षाहरू सम्पन्न भइसकेका छन्। कक्षा सुनिसकेपछि तपाईका केही प्रश्न वा जिज्ञासा भएमा रेडियो साथीको फोन नम्बर 023-563-037 मा फोन गरेर प्रश्न टिपाउन सक्नुहुनेछ वा हाम्रो फेसबुक पेजमा समेत प्रश्नहरू पठाउन सक्नुहुनेछ। अर्को कक्षामा भाइ बहिनीहरूको जिज्ञासाको समाधान गर्ने प्रयास गरिनेछ। भाइ बहिनीहरू, आजलाई कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुल यति नै। तपाईहरू यी सबै कक्षाहरूको अडियो हाम्रो फेसबुक टाइमलाइनमा गएर दोहोर्याई सुनेर थप प्रश्न हुन सक्नुहुनेछ। भोलिको कक्षामा पुनः हाम्रो भेट हुनेछ। लकडाउनको बेला घरमै बसी कार्यक्रम सुनेर अभ्यास गर्दै पढ्दै गर्नुहोला है त। तबसम्मका लागि सबै विषय शिक्षकहरूको साथमा प्राविधिक साथी करिना पौडेलसँगै म जिआर धिताल पनि बिदा हुन्छु। नमस्कार।